Hey guys, this is the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for July 10, 2025. We're going to be doing a couple of best ball drafts tonight. It's gonna be some drafts with a twist. So unlike stuff we've done before, so I'm excited to do this. Before we get into it, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It is the September is Lust Month T-shirt. Remember, lust rights are human rights. Make sure you spread the word because it's a very important message.
That's right.
A lot of people in the Lust community are just. I feel like underappreciated, and I think they really need everyone's support. So
Oppressed.
very oppressed. So yeah, you can buy the T-shirt as well. 15% off. You can get anything here, any T-shirt here. You can change the color. You can get it in long sleeve. You can get it in hoodie. You can get it in infant onesie. You can get your Lust Month infant onesie if you really want to. You can get a mug. You can get our famous apron. Everything's here, 15% off. Like I said, you go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people that I met at Penn State. I was there for 6 years, so I think you guys can probably imagine I had a lot of writing material. It's a lot of fun to write. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. But yeah, we are joined tonight with a man in his Snuggie blanket, Kenny from thecapIsFake.com. Kenny, how's it going?
Bro, it's freezing in my house, okay? My pregnant wife just decided she was going to turn down crank up the AC and turn it down to like 51 degrees. No, it's not. It's like 67. But usually I'm the one that wants the cooler in the house, but pregnancy has flipped that. So I'm like, I think I'm going to get hypothermia. Like it's so cold in my house. So anyway, there's got my zebra Snuggie.
It looks very comfortable. I'm jealous because it's super cold down here as well. My space heater says it's 66 degrees down here in the basement. I used to have my office up on the second floor. Now that I have two kids, I've been moved to the basement like the guy in Office Space. I don't even have a stapler anymore. My wife actually asked me like, "Do you have a stapler?" I'm like, "I stapler. I'm like, I don't have staplers." So anyway, we're up in a minute here. We have some questions. Well, Mike says hi, Kenny. How's it going, Mike?
Mike.
Sue says, Kenny, after you pay $40 for two kids to play at the Super Play place at the mall, which we asked you last week, would you then go to Five Guys and eagerly get a dressed up $7.50 hot dog? It's not that dressed up; it's only cheese on it. How much would you pay for a hot dog? And would you pay $7.50 for a hot dog at Five Guys?
$7.50 feels a little bit rich for a hot dog.
a little bit.
No, listen, I am biased because I am a hot dog fanatic. I love hot dogs. There's a restaurant in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from our house. It Harold's Hot Dogs. All they serve is hot dogs, all different types of hot dogs, different types of buns, different sides, and it is one of my favorite restaurants in our community. And so my wife thinks it's weird that as a grown man, I regularly eat hot dogs. Yeah, I think hot dogs are great. So I actually, yeah, I could. I didn't know Five Guys makes hot dogs, by the way.
Really? They're pretty good. They have cheese dogs, bacon cheese dogs, and everything. They're like $7 though, and I did the math. It cost actually if you buy the buns and the hot dogs at the supermarket, it costs like 81 cents per hot dog. So like $7 seems like such a ripoff. But look, I'm with you. I love hot dogs. There's actually there's something similar around here, like across the street from me. Basically, there's a hot dog restaurant where you can get like mac and cheese hot dog. There's like all these crazy things you get on it. The only caveat is it closes at 3 p.m., which I find like very weird. It's like
very weird.
Yeah, I feel like okay, if you do only lunch and close at like 1:30 or 2, I get it. But like, why stay open to 3? Like, who's eating at 2:30? It just seems like a weird time. But like, why not stay open for dinner? Like, there's so many times I would have gotten for dinner. Anyway, we're doing this with a twist. You're up, so we're alternating picks. So we're not debating. This is all you. You get to tell me what you want to do here. You have 20 seconds.
I'm going Jefferson. Okay. Yeah, I think I've come around to in best ball. Like the more and more I draft. No, if I go with a receiver early, I tend to like my roster overall a little more.
Yeah.
The exception is if I have a chance to draft Barkley, I'm still going Barkley because I think it's such a great advantage. But Yeah, I think my number one overall player is Barkley, and then my next several players are receivers.
Where would you go, Bijan? Like after which receivers would you go, Bijan?
Um, it's a good question. Bijan's middle of the first round for me.
Okay.
Let me. I should get my rankings out now that we're doing a draft. Let me. So the probability of me being able to do this by memory is pretty low. So let's.
Well, you have the receivers on the board here who've come off. Like, would you take Robinson over Lamb or Nakua or Neighbors?
Oh, good. Okay. Good question. Good question. So I think. First of all, I have Gibbs ahead of Bijan right now. I think I would take
Okay.
Gibbs, and I like Gibbs more. But yeah, I think I'm taking Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson um, and Puka Nakua. I'm taking all those guys above running backs. I'm even thinking about even Nico Collins is in the conversation for me. Malik Neighbors is in the conversation. CeeDee Lamb. I think you could make an argument for all of those guys. And what I've been doing, I mean, I'm up to 55 drafts that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And so to some extent, I'm kind of just mixing it up, right? Like, I'm just trying to get some exposure to different guys because I've done so many drafts with the same guys over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you're like, okay, I've drafted this team already. What am I doing here? You need to get a little bit different. So I definitely agree with that. We might have an auto drafter here at the end who looked like his time expired, which I love. It feels like at night sometimes these people fall asleep, and like you can get a better team. And actually, yesterday, you're gonna hate this. Well, you're gonna like that I got a better team out of it, but I drafted with Ben Wassley of ffdfantasyfootball.com yesterday, and we had the third pick, and so Chase went one, and you'll never guess who went two. Like you just won't guess. It was Drake London, and I'm like, like okay, let's take Barkley at three. And he had a normal draft.
What? Why? Just what? That seems ridiculous.
Well, if you think about it, if this guy, like we talked through it because we were both shocked when it first happened. But like, if you think about it, if this guy did the research, and I don't know what sort of research there is, but if this guy did the research and he came to think that London is going to have this insane year and he's going to be either the first or second best player in fantasy, then like you have to take him at 102 because he's not going to come back to you at 211. But like that's not gonna it's not gonna happen. It's just like if you think that way, it makes sense to do it. But I don't agree with it. But he had like a normal draft otherwise. Like he didn't like it wasn't one of those drafts where remember that guy took Blake Bell in the second round. Like he actually like had except for that pick, he had like a normal team. So anyway, it was weird. Unfortunately, AJ Brown just went. So, like I said, we're gonna alternate picks. So I feel like the trap we get into here sometimes is like we're like either it doesn't matter if it's you or someone else. We'll like argue or like talk about the picks. We only have 30 seconds, so like sometimes we run out of time. So I think it'd be better if we just alternated picks and see how it goes. So I'm gonna be doing the even rounds in this draft. You're gonna be doing the odd rounds, and then the next draft we're gonna alternate. So I'm up now. Unfortunately, McConkey just went. So there's Bowers, there's Rice, Irving. Man, this is a tough one. I don't know if I want to go tight end in the second round. It kind of blocks us from Kittle in round 4 or other options later. So people are down on Rashee Rice, but I feel like I'm the only person who likes Rashee Rice. I'm gonna take him. I don't know. What do you think about Rashee Rice? It feels like there's a lot of negativity there, but I think that he's gonna have a great year. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not anti-Rice. I like him as a player. I just like more players. I think he's fine. Where do you have him ranked? I have him in PPR. I have him as I have him a quarterback 20 or receiver 28. So I'm way lower on him than I think maybe the market is.
Oh yeah, I have him high. I have him as receiver 11.
Oh wow! Oh, we are way off on this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we are, and that's not even. You're up. So let me get. You're up now. So
he's not 28. I have him 28th overall. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You're up. You're up. Who do you want?
Okay.
20 seconds.
Okay. We have 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I'm going Chase Brown then.
Okay. I agree. That's why I would have went. So we're definitely. I agree with your first 2 picks. Who would you have taken if you were me at 209?
I I have been drafting Bowers a little bit in the second round. This is a total anti-Kenny draft. I never take tight ends that early, but
Right.
Just for funsies, I've been taking Bowers a little bit early just to try to build different roster construction. And so I think I went like 37 drafts in a row where I didn't draft a tight end before round 12. So now I'm like let me like try to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A little bit of McBride, a little bit of Kittle, just trying to get a mix up. Okay. What receiver? Okay, who would I have taken that spot? Was Brian Thomas on the board still? He was gone.
He was
he was way gone. Okay. Tyreek Hill was already gone. Although I probably wouldn't have taken him there. Probably T. Higgins. Was T. Higgins still on the board?
He went 302.
Okay, yeah, probably T. Higgins would be my pick there instead of Rice. I have him ranked ahead of Rice. Then I probably don't want to take Chase Brown following up. Probably don't want both of those guys. Back to back. Although it's not particularly if I get Burrow, maybe.
Yeah, you can get Burrow 409. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would go T, but I don't think Rice is crazy. Okay, where do I actually have Rice? 1, 2, I have to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have him at 15 overall receiver.
All right, so we're not that far apart.
I have him 28 overall.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I don't know what I have him overall. For some reason, it's not on my spreadsheet. I thought it would be, but it's not.
I don't have them numbered by position here, so I have to count like I'm in second grade again.
I have the opposite problem. I don't have all in my spreadsheet. I just have like by position, and it's on the website overall. But anyway, so we have good to know Kenny is not anti-Rice. We had that discussion last week about Rice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican, bro. We love Rice.
I'm very much anti-Rice. Actually, I was in the car with my son today, and I was
racist. It's a racist wall. It's your white privilege.
I'm not even white. Stop it. I'm like 10% white. So anyway, according to those DNA tests, anyway. Anyway, I was in the car with my son today, and I was listening to a fantasy football podcast, and it was like someone said Rashee Rice. And my son's like, "What's Rashee Rice?" And I'd explained to him, I'm like, you know how her last name is Charpinski, their last name is Rice. And he's like, "Why is their last name Rice? You eat rice." I was like, "I don't know. I can't answer that." Anyway, we're up in one pick, and then he's like, "Who else is Rice?" I'm like, "Jerry Rice." I'm like, "Okay." All right, so Burrow's still available. I don't know if take another quarterback. I don't want to mix that with. Man, I really hate this part of the draft. I'm going to take Courtland Sutton. I hate round 4 with a passion. If Burrow comes around, I would be on board with him. But you had the 5th pick anyway. I feel like Burrow's going to go in the 4th at 412 or 501 because that guy's Jamar Chase. But I guess you never know. Actually, Higgins that guy took Burrow, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so you're up in 3 picks, but I was going to ask you, like, who would you have taken? Would you have entertained Burrow there at 409?
I would not, because I just hate taking quarterbacks early. It's pretty rare for me to take quarterback early. Oh, I've done it a little bit. I just feel icky when I do it.
I've been doing it a lot in the 4th round, actually, just because I hate everyone else in the 4th round.
Drafting a quarterback in the first few rounds is like French kissing your grandma. It just feels gross.
Like how you know how it feels. Anyway, you're up right now. Who do you want?
All right, so we have 2 receivers and a running back already, right?
3 receivers and running back.
Who's our 3rd receiver?
Sutton.
Oh, okay. In that case,
15 seconds.
Okay, is Kyren Williams or Kyren Williams on the board? Is he gone? If he's not, gone. Joe Mixon.
Mixon. All right, take Mixon. So we have the current Bengals running back and the former Bengals running back at right now. So at 504. Kyren Williams went 311, so he's been long gone. Mike says if you call them tube steaks, you can rationalize the 750, especially if you involve A1 steak sauce. See, now we're talking like we're off price. we're here at A1 sauce. I don't know.
By the way, I just realized I can make all the times we've been using this software, StreamYard. I didn't realize you can make it full screen and you can do like an extra big full screen. I can actually see the board now. This is remarkable.
You didn't know that? Have you just like squinting at the screen?
How many years have we been using this? How many years have we been using this software? I just realized
like 7 or 8 years.
Oh my gosh, this is so clear.
You've been squinting at the screen these 8 years?
Yeah.
Like what's going like
all right. Wow, Jefferson, awesome. Rice, Chase Brown, Courtland Sutton, Joe Mixon. Got it.
Yeah, you no longer have to ask who we have on our team.
Oh
my god, that's awesome.
I'm gonna take screenshots of what I was looking at before. Just
oh my god, no wonder you were asking who we have. I was like, why are you asking? I was like, why do you keep asking this? It's like right there.
All right, we got Joe Mixon. We're going in the round 6. We're in rare form tonight. I'm excited about this.
It's those chili things you're eating, whatever they're at.
These are ridiculous. These chili and lime. What are these? Cocoa beans? No. What is this? Crunchy roasted Java beans. Chili and lime.
You said they're good though, right?
They're weird. Oh, they're weird but addicting. I don't know. Like my wife.
Sounds good. Well, I'm sure she won't. I'm sure she's not listening to this. My wife would never listen to the show. So
my wife fast asleep.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. We have Nuggets. Nuggets' wife listens to the show, and like that's we have those situations happening from time to time. And I assume that Nuggets and Butters will be on Tuesday for the British Open. But like Nuggets will say stuff like about his wife, and like she'll yell from the other room because she'll be listening to the show. It's so funny. Anyway, we're up in 2 picks. Calvin Ridley won. Unfortunately, I was really rooting for Calvin Ridley to come back to us. I love Ridley. I don't know how you feel about him, but like I was like reading like just like doing some research into him, and like he had the most unrealized air yards last year, just kind of like which was Terry McLaurin had that the year before. All right, so we're up. There's Juwan Jennings that could maybe take him and star him. I really don't see anyone else that like really stands out. We have 2 running backs already. 18 seconds. I don't want Judy, Montgomery, no, Mahomes, no, Myers, Addison, maybe get in the next round if you want him. There's Judkins, Shakir, Jones, Pacheco. Yeah, I mean, I think we're taking Jennings. He's been going earlier, but like this is later than usual. This is like kind of like back to where he was going about a couple months ago. He was going like late 6th, early 7th, and like he kind of like transitioned to like late 5th. He went in the 5th round yesterday, so I don't know if this is like going to be permanent or a trend, or just maybe people in this draft don't like him. So yeah, I mean, I think Jennings is pretty good here as our 4th receiver. What do you think about the pick?
I think he's great. I mean, 69th overall. I have him ranked as my 44th overall best player. So obviously, I think we're getting great value here. Yeah, his ADP has crept up a little bit. It was like 70.1 a couple weeks ago. I think as of right now, I think it's 66.9. I think is what it was earlier. And so yeah, it's definitely crept up. For it to move, 3 slots like that, we're coming up here into the 7th round. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go receiver here again. Okay. Aaron Jones is the guy I like a little bit here, but yeah, I think is Metcalf gone? Metcalf is gone, or is he still on the board?
Yeah, he's long gone.
Oh, he's long gone. Okay. Okay, how about DJ Moore?
He's long gone.
Okay. All right, Aaron Jones then.
Okay. That's from the time when you couldn't see. No, Metcalf went 404 and Moore went 410.
Oh, that was way off. Okay, all right.
It's like those draft, like there's someone always in the draft who tries to draft someone who's been taken.
Yeah, you're right. Oh no, Jones has the same buy as Mixon. Okay, well that's all right, I guess.
Yeah. It's fine. As long as like 3 running backs don't have the same buy, it's okay. I've drafted like my first 2 running backs like week 5 buys or something. I've done that before. Who would that be? It would probably like Bijan and then Jacobs. Like I've done that before, which is it's okay, just as long as you don't draft another week 5 buy or running back. Cooper Kupp, bad pick. Caleb Johnson, I have a lot of interest in. I don't know what you think about him, but
I just don't know if he's good.
Yeah, I see why Kenny didn't count on you. What'd you say? Caleb Johnson, you don't think he's good?
No, I don't know if he's good. Like,
right.
I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. It feels like you get when I'm reading about rookies, because again, I don't watch college football. I retired back in 2010, and the same year I retired from hockey. I retired from both, and so
you're a longtime hockey player, Kenny Ortiz.
And so I just thought to myself, I just like, I don't know. When I'm reading about rookie running backs, I want to hear an overwhelming, consensus that the guy is actually good at football. And so I'm just not getting that with most of the rookie running backs. There's not a consensus that, hey, this guy's actually really good. In fact, the guy that's getting the most consensus is Hampton with the Chargers. I feel like I even get better vibes from him than Genty. I think there's a lot of hate on Genty from guys like, I feel like he was overdrafted. So
interesting. Overdrafted in the real draft or
in the NFL draft. Yeah, that he didn't. They shouldn't have been drafted that early in the first round.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
But Hampton's a guy that seems to be like no one's telling. I've not read anyone saying that Hampton is better than Genty, but just that there's more confidence in Hampton's going to be a productive NFL player, earlier rather than later. Where Genty, there seems to be some question marks on how quickly he can be productive.
Yeah, I like both players, but like Hampton's situation's terrible for like where he's going. Like Najee Harris is there, and Najee Harris has not missed a game. He's had 1,000 yards every single season. His coach is an old school guy. Like Hampton's obviously going to play, but Harris is just, I feel like it's going to get in his way and just like prevent Hampton from doing much. And Hampton's going like 4th round. If he's going 7th round, I'd have interest, but like 4th round, I just can't get behind that. I'm up in 1 pick. So let me see who's available. I will go Hawkinson if he's there. If he's not there, I think Matthew Golden probably. We'll see. There's not much I love here. Just looking at this, we have 3 running backs already, so not really into Tyron Tracy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what DTK leg. It took Bo Nix, so I'm gonna go Hawkinson. We don't have a tight end yet. Love Hawkinson. We can maybe go McCarthy later. We have 2 Vikings already, so we have a nice Viking stack. No, Addison's like the only guy we don't have, but that's fine. So what do you think about the Hawkinson pick?
Yeah, it's too early for tight end. That's my thought. I actually have Mark Andrews ranked ahead of Hawkinson, and he's going later. Yeah,
interesting.
I like Hawkinson. I just like Andrews more.
Yeah, you know what? I've been like tied.
Okay.
So it makes sense.
If you had not taken Hawkins there at 93, I would have taken Andrews at 100.
Okay.
So we're not far off here.
Yeah, I didn't really have anyone I like. Like, if Igbuka fell to us, I would have taken him. If Nix fell to us, given that we have Sutton, I think I would have considered him. But I mean, I like Hawkinson a lot. I mean, he's going to be with basically a rookie quarterback. Like, he's going to be locked in. McCarthy's going to be locked in on him, and like he's going to be. He was injured last year. He's coming off the torn ACL. Like, he's going to be healthier this year. So, I like him quite a bit.
Who are the receivers on the board? Where's the receiver? We have
Ayuk, Pittman, Coleman, Bateman, Harris, Shaheed, Mims. You're up right now.
Yeah. I guess maybe quarterback. I guess we go quarterback here.
Fields, Goff, Prescott, McCarthy, Herbert, May.
Yeah. I love my favorite is Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert, and then come back with JJ at a later time. This would be my because right. What's JJ's ADP?
It's 115 to 118, basically the same. All right, we'll take Herbert. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. What's the quarterback situation here for 1 and 2 teams? 1 and 2, they both have one. Okay, and this guy is one. So, so I think I'd be inclined to take McCarthy at 10:09 rather than wait for 11:04 for your pick. Just because these guys don't have these guys only have one quarterback, so they might be willing to take quarterback there. So why are you so high on Herbert over the other quarterbacks?
I think he's he's a way better player. I just don't know if JJ's good. I think that's my, I'm willing to draft him. But I just think Herbert's much better than these guys. And I like the guys I can draft later with Herbert. I like Quentin Johnson a little bit. I like Lambert Smith. The rookie Trey Harris.
Yeah.
Like all those guys are going late, or later at least. And so, I feel like you can stack him with some of those guys.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think Herbert should have a good year. I hate the Chargers defense, so it feels like the Chargers may have to throw a lot this year. Cassandra says Cristobal Boo Neves is the only player of Puerto Rican descent to have played in the NHL. He played 76 games over 4 seasons with the New York Rangers. That's pretty wild. There's only been one Puerto Rican player in the NHL.
Well done. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised there's even one.
Yeah, really? I think it's like 4 or something, 3 or 4. I don't know.
Puerto Ricans and ice don't usually go together.
That's true. Sounds like a musical. Puerto Ricans on ice. I don't know. I feel like there would have been like 3 or 4. I don't know. There's some black players in the NHL. Not a lot, but there's some.
But they're Canadian, so they barely count as black.
That's true. Definitely true. By the way, Mark Andrews just went 10:04. Great value there with him.
Yeah, great. Love it.
Yeah. I did have another comment. Mike, I've never put A1 sauce on a hot dog. I guess I better try it. That's interesting, huh? No, I never have done that either.
No, you don't have to try it. It's disgusting.
I don't trust your A1 sauce.
Or the A1 sauce in your eyeballs. That'll be more effective.
Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Tyler Warren, and Jaden Higgins. Is that like who would you rather have? Who's Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Tyler Warren, Jaden Higgins. They're all rookies. I don't Brandon, you have to I don't know if it's like a pick one or something. But I mean of those players, I like Cam Ward. I like Higgins, Hunter. I mean, Hunter's going way earlier. Higgins, it's
hard to compare those two.
McCarthy just went. That sucks. Why this guy take McCarthy? I mean, I don't look at this guy's team and just dissect it. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna let's see, quarterbacks. No, you know what? I'm gonna take Trey Harris just so we don't get screwed on the stacking here. So this guy took Bo Nix and then went McCarthy 2 rounds later. Does he have anyone on the Vikings? No. So he has Addison. Okay, all right, that's fine, I guess. That's a little frustrating that he didn't get back to us, but whatever. As expected, this guy took a quarterback. I feel like these other 2 guys will take them. There might be one of them might take a quarterback. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. So who are the other quarterbacks we might want to consider here? Purdy's gone.
There's Prescott, Lawrence, Penix, Tua, Stafford, Bryce Young, Geno Smith, Cam Ward.
Yeah. There's no one to stack easily, though.
No. Although I feel like you don't really need to stack Ward. Prescott just went. So, yeah, 3 quarterbacks have gone in this area here. We're up right now. So, let's get back to you. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I feel pressed to get a quarterback here. How about CJ Stroud?
He just went.
Oh, okay. How about I guess we'll go Lawrence.
Lawrence, okay. Okay.
But I feel the pressure to get 3 quarterbacks over the next few rounds here.
Yeah.
If we don't, we're gonna get boxed out.
Yeah, we will. We got boxed out yesterday, the draft I did with Ben. Although we took Jalen Hurts in the 5th round, so it didn't feel as bad. Our quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford, and like whenever we tried to take a quarterback, we got sniped by 1 or 2 picks. So we just didn't get a chance. Like even like Anthony Richardson in like the 16th round or 17th round, like we were like, okay, we're gonna get Richardson, and then he went 1 pick earlier. So like at the end, it was like, do we take Russell Wilson? Do we take Joe Flacco? Or
There's
like,
no point. Yeah.
there's no point. There's no point, right?
Yeah.
Because like they're never gonna outscore Hurts, and if Hurts goes down, our team's gonna suck anyway. So I just don't see a point. But
Yeah.
like given where we are, like Herbert and Lawrence, like I feel like we do need a third quarterback.
Mhm. I've been trying to get three, kind of three before round 12 or 13 has been in that range. Yeah. So,
Yeah, well, for me, if I go quarterback early, like in the first 5 rounds, then I will definitely get two in the first 13 rounds, and then I'll try to get like Richardson or Daniel Jones in like the 16th or 17th round. That's usually been my plan, because like I feel like Hurts goes well with Richardson, because Richardson is like one of the like rare quarterbacks who can outscore Hurts, like if he just lives up to his potential. But like even if you miss out on him, like you don't really need a third quarterback if you have Hurts. You know what I mean?
right.
So yeah, it just really depends on where you take these guys.
Um, all right. In this next, we got three running backs, five receivers, tight end, quarterback. What are you thinking?
Um, well, it's the 12th round. Um, and I love my 12th round guy.
The
So
Garendo?
I was gonna say him because just in case we get sniped, which
Oh,
has happened before. But look, I mean, there are other options too. I'm not gonna be crying if we don't get Garendo, but we have three running backs. We definitely need a fourth at some point. So why not go with the guy with the most upside? And the guy I've drafted in 76% of my drafts.
I think it's remarkable.
Dude, if McCaffrey goes down, I'm gonna win so much money. It's gonna be insane. Um, I missed this one. AFC South rookie competition, rookie of the year.
Oh,
Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Tyler Warren, Jane Higgins. I would say that, I mean, the favorite's Hunter, but like Ward has sneaky potential there. I don't know what his odds are, but like any quarterback has a great chance. And
right.
if Cam Ward overperforms, like he's probably gonna win it, unless like someone else goes insane.
Mhm.
Like a Booker or something, or McMillan, or a Genty. Like, I mean, Genty's the odds-on favorite overall. Um, but I could see like Pete Carroll doing something stupid, like giving Raheem Mostert, like in week one. Can you imagine if like Raheem Mostert gets 16 carries and Genty gets 13? Like people who drafted Genty in the first round would be freaking out. And like his ADP and like the best ball round two or week two onward, Genty's going to be going like third round suddenly. I think people are going to be so mad, and they're going to be
Yeah.
so upset. Yeah, they're going to react, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll take Genty in the third round, thanks, because like obviously it's not going to be the case all year. But anyway, so we think. Um, and I was talking to Ben yesterday, and I think the Browns are going to beat the Bengals in week one, and I feel like there's a good chance Judkins just goes off, and so I'm gonna take our guy here. Um, I think like Judkins could go off, and like in the week two onward, Judkins as a result is going to go third round or second round, and I'm gonna like just complete avoid because the Browns are gonna be so terrible. But I do think they're going to beat the Bengals in week one. So yeah, we took our guy Garendo. That's our fourth running back. So feeling good at the position. I like our running backs and receivers. We have Jefferson, Rice, Sutton, Jennings, and Harris as receivers. Seems really good. Brown, Mixon, Jones, Garendo's our running backs. Um, like Hawkinson and Herbert Lawrence. Like I feel like quarterback are weakest, but we could take another one here if you so choose. And I feel like I think you will, because you said you want three quarterbacks by round 13. So
Yeah. Yeah. Typically here, who are or the other options? Is tight end a better? But I'm not sure who are the tight ends available. Like anyone who's here is going to still be there in a round or two.
yeah.
Like anyone
So
that I
here,
care about. So
so here are the quarterbacks: Stafford, Bryce Young, Cam Ward. Our bye weeks for quarterbacks are 8 and 12. So no Stafford. So who do you want here? No Stafford, no Donald.
if it's no Stafford, I don't know are we on the clock right now?
Yeah.
I think. I guess Bryce Young. I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah, I hate it. But
All right, what's your first
yeah,
one? No Cam
okay.
Ward, really. I would have slammed Cam Ward there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Cam Ward would have been a better pick probably. Like, excuse me, I didn't realize. Yeah, Stafford is who I really wanted in that spot. But the bye week, it's not ideal.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want two quarterbacks in the same bye week because you can get like Herbert's out, like, and week 8 comes around, like you're not gonna have any options. Just gonna take a 0. That's just like a nightmare. Um, but no. So you kind of I take you're not in love with Cam Ward, although you said you would have picked him.
Yeah, he was probably a better pick than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's fine. I just don't know if he's good. Like I don't know. It's like it's just some of these guys are just like it's all over the map on Cam Ward. Like the things you read. It's like, is this is he good? Is this team going to be good enough? Is it just going to be him running around? I'm choking on.
You okay there? I could talk for a bit. Walt McCaffrey went down last year, and Guerrero had 33 rushing attempts. Yeah, well, I mean, it was Jordan Mason, and Jordan Mason's not there anymore as a starter. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it was Jordan Mason was still there, so he wasn't like. There's no competition for Guerrero now. Like, it's just the Guerrero show. Like, you look at the depth chart of the Niners right now. I believe it's McCaffrey, then Guerrero, then Jordan James. Yeah, their 5th-round rookie is their 3rd stringer. So yeah, it's just gonna be Guerrero like this year, just like much different, much different scenario this year. Like, like if Jordan Mason was still there, I'd have no interest in Guerrero at all because I feel like they would split the touches or something in the event of a McCaffrey injury, or like Mason would be like 60-40, 65-35. But I mean, unless you think like the 5th-rounder Jordan James is going to step in and take Guerrero's role, which I don't know. I mean, like if they liked him more, they would have taken him earlier. I think that Guerrero is going to get all the snaps there if McCaffrey goes down, and he has insane potential. Like this guy is big and he's super fast. I feel like he could just dominate if he gets the role this year that like wasn't the case last year. Like the only reason he saw action last year is because Mason got hurt in that Thursday night game, which
Yeah.
that ruined our same game parlay. By the way, I nailed everything. I had Jordan Mason over 80 rushing yards. He had 75 or something when he went down. It's like, come on, man! Like he was having a great game. It was the 2nd quarter. He went down. He had 75 rushing yards. Like, of
Come on,
course
man.
he
How
went down
dare you
there.
get injured, man? Come on, man. I got a
I know.
parlay going.
Seriously, like how selfish of him. All right, I'm up now. I'm looking at Jalen Wright off the bat. Can we get a tight end? Brenton Strange. You know what? We have what's his face? We have Trevor Lawrence, so that makes sense. Does the bye week make sense? Yes, it does. All right, let's go with our second tight end, Brenton Strange. Here, just the stack with Trevor Lawrence. So, what do you think of the pick?
Yeah, I think Strange is fine. I like adding the stack there. What's our positional breakdown now?
It is 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 5 receivers, 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I feel like I want to add on the running backs. A couple running backs here I like, and
Yep.
so I like you mentioned Wright. I also like Cartavius, aka Tank.
Yes.
Roshan Johnson just went. By the way, I've kind of come around a little bit on Roshan. I think there's some logic to Roshan. I don't think he's good at football. He runs like he's wearing cement block shoes, but I think there's some logic to him this year, and so I've come around to him and drafted him a little bit. If he were still on the board here, I probably would prioritize him, but I think Bigsby is my favorite in this probably, and then maybe Wright.
So you like Bigsby over Wright? You're Bigsby just went, so we don't get Bigsby.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
Do you want Wright or
I think Wright's the best player on the board right now.
okay? Let's take him. So with Bigsby, I was you mentioned him as someone you liked about like I don't know a month and a half ago or 2 months ago whenever we did that show, and I agreed with you at the time. But like I thought that ATN was going to get traded. Maybe he still will, but he hasn't been traded, and so I just like I don't know. It's like a 3-man committee, and like, yeah, maybe Bigsby gets most of the carries, but I feel like it's just going to be just three guys handling the workload, you know. So if it came out like in a month or two, or in a month before the season and traded Etienne, I would love Bigsby. But it just feels like there's too many mouths to feed, you know, like in that backfield.
I, yeah, I just think eventually ATN is going to get phased out of the game. Like, just it'll be Bigsby and the rookie. Inevitably, if the coach is smart, which is a big question because we don't know if the coach is smart. We think he's smart, but I don't know for sure. He's never been a head coach, so we'll see. Inevitably, the rookie. In fact, the rookie. How do you pronounce it? Is it Tate?
Tootin.
I can never pronounce it. I never get it right. But at the end of the day, I think if you watch Bigsby and ATM play, I just think it's obvious Bigsby is a better player. It just seems like so like you don't have to be a scout to see it. This guy's a better player. So there's no way that they're going to prioritize him, ATN over the. And now if Tootin's actually good, and they drafted this guy and they think he's good, all signs to me seems that ATN is going to get phased out of the game, and I could see him be like a healthy scratch by like week 9.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Tootin is their guy. This new front office, you know, they didn't draft Bigsby, they didn't draft ATN, but they did draft Tootin. So that could give him a leg up of sorts. But then I read something, it's like a couple weeks ago, where the coach was criticizing Tootin's pass protection ability, and I'm like, okay, so maybe he's not going to play, at least like not too much early. So I do think Bigsby is the favorite to lead the team in carries, and I think you might be right that ATN is phased out, or you know what, maybe they play ATN a bit early to kind of showcase him for a trade. Maybe that happens. And then like once he's traded, Bigsby could handle most of the workload.
Yeah, I think I just don't believe in ATN at all, and I just can't imagine a smart coaching staff sticking with him.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I'm gonna star Alec Pierce and Dante Thornton. We need a 6th receiver. We can go running back, but the options aren't amazing. Tight end, we already have 2. And Thornton just went. So we made this decision easy for me. All right, so I'm going to take Alec Pierce just because there are going to be 3 games this year where he's just going to go nuts and outscore everyone, including Jefferson. Like we've seen that. Like he gets like a 28 like randomly. Just look at these numbers. So he 24, 25, an 18, and a 27. If he does that in the 16th round, we're going to be super happy. So yeah, just get Pierce in best ball, ignore him in regular fantasy. He's like one of those guys you want. I do like Thornton a lot. It feels like he could be the number 1 receiver, or at least just say wide receiver, because you know Bowers, let's face it, he's the number 1 receiver there. But Thornton could be the number 1 wide receiver by the end of the year. I'm a believer in his talent. Like he's 6'5", he runs a 4.3, and like he's been running with the first team already in minicamp. Not that means like a ton, but it's better than the opposite, like just being with the backups. So you're up in 1 pick. What do you want to do here?
I think if Cade Otton's on the board, I really like Cade Otton as an option. How many running backs we have? 5 running backs.
We have 5. Yeah.
I think let me see who the running backs. Are we on the board yet?
Yes, we're up now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I like Cade Otton as our 3rd tight end. Yeah, there's no one else I love here. The other option would be Mitchell. So I think I'm good to pull the trigger on the 3rd tight end here.
Okay, that's fine. So no Higbee for us. It's going to be a.
I forgot about your buddy.
It's okay. It's going to be a Higbee-less draft. You know, I should probably get less exposure on Higbee. I'm 78% of my drafts.
What's our positional breakdown right now? Where are we at?
Is 3, 5, 6, 3.
Okay, so really we need 1 more running back and at least 2 more receivers, or just probably something like that.
1 running back, 1 receiver, and then 1 of anything else. I would say Keaton and Mitchell just went, so I thought maybe he'd come back to us. I like Keaton Mitchell as well.
Yeah, I probably should have gone Mitchell over Otton there because
It's okay.
Of the running backs that are left, he's the favorite. He's my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah, I like him too. There are a couple other ones who are pretty decent. I think I might take one when we come back. We'll see. I mean, we'll see who's available. I don't want to say it. Justice Hill might be one of them. I like Mitchell more, and the fact that Mitchell's healthy kind of hurts Hill. But we saw Hill have some good games last year. Like even like Henry didn't get hurt, and he had some good games. Like the Dallas game comes to mind. How much? What did he do in that game? He had maybe not. This is the Buffalo game. Yeah, that's what it was. He had 21 fantasy points. He had 13 here against Tampa, 14 here, 17 here, and these are games where Henry was not injured. So if Henry goes down, I think we'll see Hill and Mitchell share the workload. But Baltimore runs the ball so well that I think that they both could have a good production. But I would rather have Mitchell just because of his home run ability. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's an overall better player, and so I could easily see Mitchell being the guy that is kind of the change of pace, even with Henry's is still. I could see Mitchell putting up those numbers that Hill put up last year, even if Henry is healthy all year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And like he's one of those guys who can break a slate, just like he gets the ball in space, he's gone. Like that's the type of ability he has, and like that's what you're looking for in best ball. I kind of like this team 5 guy, except for Jaden Blue. Feels like he's drafted a bunch of players like that, at least later. Like I don't like Hampton. I don't like Blue, but like he took Algier high upside, Bob Thornton very high upside, Mitchell high upside. So this is a good draft by this guy, even though he kind of sniped us with McCarthy. But I mean, Nick's McCarthy, Stafford's a good trio of quarterbacks. So this guy's going to be this DTK leg guy. I feel like one of our top competitors. I think we'll see if we are one of the competitors. I shouldn't assume. I think if our players stay healthy, we will be there. But yeah, the Ballerina movie is a crazy sequel to Knock Knock. Are you familiar with either movie? I am not.
No.
The Ballerina feels very familiar. I heard of it. I have not seen it. Have you checked out?
I don't think I've heard either one.
Have you checked out the 8 show yet?
No, I have not. I don't know. Oh, we talked about this. You did, but I know I did not see it.
Okay.
Listen, I gotta get permission from my wife on what I can watch. Okay, so sorry.
Well, I thought you guys watched stuff together, isn't it?
We do it. Yeah, but like I'll come up with ideas, and she's like, we'll get 10 minutes into it, and I don't like this. So
you just stop.
Yeah, we watched. We just finished Squid Games though.
Well, I haven't seen it. Was it good?
It was good. Yeah, not amazing. The novelty of it wore off a bit, and so it's not amazing, but yeah, it's good.
Okay. I'm gonna go with our 6th running back, Brashard Smith. So this is a shout out to Ben Wasley, who gave us he gave us Tyron Tracy last year. And so I asked him for his late round sleeper this year. He said Brashard Smith, and it kind of makes sense. Like if Pacheco is not healthy, like they might go somewhere else. And Kareem Hunt's super old. Elijah Mitchell always gets hurt. And then there's Brashard Smith, and the Chiefs have a long history of using late round running backs. So Brashard Smith's a guy who can catch passes, so that's helpful for this PPR format. So even if Pacheco plays, like it feels like Smith could be on the field a little bit here and there, just catching passes. So I think 18th round he's pretty decent. So yeah, you're up in one pick. What are you thinking here?
I think we need another receiver.
Yeah.
And so I like Cloaker.
Coker, I think he went, didn't he? Yeah, he went. Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. I think my favorite guy in this moment is Wicks probably.
Okay.
It throws me off that the rankings are you don't have your rankings set in here, but
I like going by ADP. I feel like I know who I want. I think like going by ADP is useful because you kind of have an idea of who the other people are going to take. But I could see like Gabe Davis just went. I could see like wanting the option to sort by rankings as well.
Yeah, but I feel like I know where ADP people are going. So
okay,
ADP is on the list right next to him.
That's true. ADP always changes and stuff. But I actually like drafting, just like being on ADP and like knowing, okay, maybe we can get this guy on the way back or something. I think that's useful. But as far as like rankings, I kind of like, I don't want to say like I don't like, I haven't memorized my rankings or anything, but like I kind of have an idea of like who I want each round. Like there, I have like lists of like 5 to 7 players I want in each round. So, kind of know that Trevor. I thought that was Travis Etienne. 19-9. It was Trevor Etienne. Um, so yeah, let's. Do you have time to do a second draft?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna enter in the second draft so we can just jump from one to another. Um, here. So, guys, by the way, if you're playing golf, DFS or anything, or placing golf bets, it starts at 2 a.m. So make sure you enter in all your stuff. A bit different this week because it's the Scottish Open, so they're out in Scotland, and then British Open is next week. So usually golf starts at like 7 a.m. So you have all night to do it, but yeah, golf will start at 2 a.m. tonight, so it's a little different here. All right, so this is the final round. So yeah, let's see. Let's review our team. I feel like we already reviewed our team. I think this is a pretty good team. I like how it came together. At quarterback, I think is the weakest. But I feel like I think they're fine. The quarterbacks are fine. It's not like too weak. We have some potential here with our guys, but running back and receiver feels really strong, which is where you want to be strongest. And Hawkinson, I think, is going to have a really good year, so I'm comfortable with tight end as well. Stacking wise, maybe like we really missed out on McCarthy. That would have been a nice stack with all the Vikings players we have with Hawkinson, Jones, and Jefferson. So that didn't work out, but we did stack Herbert with Harris. But we stacked Lawrence with Brenton Strange. We almost got Bigsby, which he didn't. We didn't stack Bryce Young with anyone. Like you said, Coker's off the board, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Let me. So this is my last pick. So I'm gonna take. I take Lambert Smith. You mentioned him before, so might as well pair a quarterback with someone else on his team. So, any thoughts, final thoughts on this draft? We begin the next draft, by the way, and we pick at 12. So that's gonna be a little awkward with our alternating picks. So anyway, what do you think of our draft here?
Yeah, I think I kind of hate it.
You do, really? I don't think it's
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I think there are multiple picks that I made that I'm like, that was not the right pick. As we were
like
going,
what?
Yeah.
Like what?
So, yeah, we were. I feel like we don't have a lot of time to analyze, but yeah,
well, we have the 12th pick. We have a little bit of time.
So I feel like I guess I don't. I think I don't love Rice. He's fine. Chase Brown I like there for sure. Sutton fine. Mixon I like a lot. Hawkinson I don't love.
You basically just don't like my picks. You're like, I wish I would have taken other players. I don't like this pick I want. I don't like this.
Oh yeah, I don't remember who took who. Herbert. We probably should have taken JJ there. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it's fine.
Trevor Lawrence. Maybe I realized that wasn't a great pick. Yeah, Bryce Young wasn't the right move. You should have gone Cam Ward there. Yeah, so I just think in every pick there's like someone I like a little more. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. I think it's a good draft. So here, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was going to have the odd rounds. You're going to have the even rounds, but it doesn't matter at all because we're at the turn. So we basically have we have time to pick our own guys here. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. So we both get to think independently and make our picks. I have the first pick technically, but it doesn't really matter. If you come up with a guy you really love, and I'm thinking of someone, then you can make the pick if you really want.
I have been trying to track informally. I've not done this thoroughly, or in any sort of like organized fashion, but kind of just informally. I've been thinking whenever I'm drafting late in the draft, it is useful to go to have some sort of all-in strategy. And so when I'm drafting late like this, it has been useful to inevitably later in the draft you're going to have to reach. Like it's just like the nature of it. Like where we're drafting, you're going to end up having to reach a little bit to make sure we get the positions filled.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of want to be stacked in one position. And so
Okay.
I've just been going heavy receiver early or heavy running back early if I draft late like this. So like if Derrick Henry and like Josh Jacobs fall to me, I've done that. But Derrick Henry just went. So
Okay.
then I just go heavy receiver, or I go receiver. Well, I just go receiver usually in that spot.
All right. Well, I'm up with my pick. I'm gonna take Brian Thomas Jr. I'm gonna. We have 24 extra seconds, so I'm gonna give you more time to pick your guys. So, who do you want here?
I'm going to go Nico Collins then.
Okay.
I think they're the best two guys on the board.
Okay. Cool. So we have our AFC South receivers here with Thomas and Nico Collins. I've started drafts like that. I'm a little surprised that I thought you would have went AJ Brown instead at 201. Do you like Collins better?
Yeah, I like him a little better. I love AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's a better player overall. But the Eagles, heavy run game. I think caps AJ Brown a little bit, and so AJ Brown will be the next guy off the board for me though. I have him ahead of St. Brown.
We did this yesterday. Would you take Barkley in the first round? Let me say it this way: would you take AJ Brown in the second round if you took Barkley in the first round? If you think he's the best player available, like for example, we took Barkley at 103 yesterday, and AJ Brown is available at 210.
I would still do it. I know it's going to cap my upside a little bit. I just think the value is too good. There's going to be so many weeks where AJ Brown goes off. Like we saw it last year.
Yeah.
What was that?
They both could go off. Same week.
Yeah, we saw in the there, and Brown just went. The very first game of the year last year where they were both healthy.
Yeah.
Barkley scored 3 touchdowns. Brown scored 1 touchdown. Brown had whatever 86 yards in that game. I can't remember whatever it was.
Yeah, we can look now. He had 25 fantasy points, which is pretty good, and Barkley had 36. So they could certainly go off together. And to kind of sweeten it, we took Hurts in the 5th round. So to have the whole Eagle stack, which I think you want in best ball.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that draft.
I'm a fan, obviously.
Yeah, really, you like the Eagles? I didn't know that. So I feel like no surprises here. Maybe Lamb went a little later than usual. Tyreek Hill's both drafts he's gone 2nd round. I don't understand this. He was been going 3rd round, and I had no interest in the 3rd round, and now he's going 2nd round. So I'm happy to see it. Like, good luck with your old receiver who relies on speed with who has no offensive line and a quarterback who's always hurt and who might be in jail. So good luck with that pick, Tinderella. I don't think it's going to work out for you.
I think we talked about Hill last week, didn't we?
We did, yeah. He was among the list of players we're unsure about.
Right.
Which we should probably think of a topic for next week. Because I admittedly, I texted you way too late. I texted you this morning because I just forgot about it. I was going to text you earlier. I just had so many things on my plate this week. And then you told me that you just saw my text like 10 minutes before the show started. So it didn't really work out. I was like, I guess we're just going to do best ball drafts.
Let's do it. I've been doing them all week.
Yeah. If you guys have any suggestions on topics we should cover, let us know for sure. John Sanders hasn't been around. This is a random question. Would you sue your brother if he drives into a telephone pole because he's an idiot and cracks 3 of your ribs and causes internal bleeding of the kidney? Wow. Jeez.
John, I got to be honest, it's a tad bit downer question. But
well, I assume that's why John's been away.
Oh man,
that's pretty.
Yes, I would.
Sorry to hear that.
Listen, I love my brother, but I would sue him because that's the only insurance to cover it.
Yeah. Man, that's sorry to hear that, John. If that indeed happened to you, that sucks. It depends. It really depends on the situation, like the relationship with your brother. And you said he's an idiot, so it feels like he's done. It feels like he's done stuff like that already. If this is like a one-time thing, it's a one-time mistake, then I'd say no. But if this is like a recidivist, then I probably to teach him a lesson and rectify any medical bills or whatever. Um, we're up in one pick, but yeah. So John, sorry to hear about that. That's what happened. Are you taking McLaurin here?
So I would prefer a one running back, one receiver. So depending on whatever you take.
If you took McLaurin, I was gonna take Jane Daniels.
You have the first pick, right?
Yes. If I take Daniels, would take McLaurin?
Yeah. If you like Daniels here, yeah.
Because I hate everything else. I really hate everything.
Oh, really?
Else. Yeah. I'm gonna take Daniels. So, do you want McLaurin? Sorry to influence your pick here.
I mean, that makes the team. It fits the team. Yeah, there are running backs on the board I like in that spot. So I guess I'm surprised you would do that.
Oh, please talk me into who you like here. I don't like anyone. I like Hubbard, but he's going like mid 5th round. It feels a little too early. So,
I would be fine with Breece Hall here. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
Or I would have been fine going another receiver.
Like who? I mean, I don't like any of these guys at this point in the draft.
I like DK. I'm fine with DK here. I'd also be fine with the tight end here if you wanted to go, contrarian pick. Was Kittle still on the board available at the moment or no?
Kittle was available.
Yeah, so I would have been fine with it. Yeah, I don't think Daniels is a bad pick. I think I would have been fine with another receiver, or McLaurin and a tight end. I would have been fine with as well. But yeah, I don't think Daniels is a terrible pick here. I think I would have Hurts ahead of Daniels, but I think Daniels is fine. Is defendable.
I've heard so much more than Daniels. But Hurts is going later, and that's part of the reason. I don't know. I mean, Hall was on my list of top 10 players I'm unsure about. I just don't know what's going to happen there. It feels like maybe a committee, like the Aaron Glenn came from Detroit where they had a committee and they have 3 running backs. I can see Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis getting worked in. Breece Hall also lost his explosiveness from his rookie year. It just hasn't been the same. And he's going to catch fewer passes for Justin Fields. So I just really don't know about him. Metcalf, I guess this is sticker shock because he was going 5th round before Rodgers signed. And I feel like what's changed? We knew Rodgers was going to sign there. It was obviously Rodgers going there. And if not, of the crazy instant that he wasn't going to be assigned there, then I thought they were going to trade for Kirk Cousins. So either way, they were going to get a veteran upgraded quarterback. And so I was like, okay, I'm just taking Metcalf in the 5th round. Well, now he's going mid 4th, and nothing for me, nothing has changed. So I feel like I already got my shares of Metcalf. And I think feels like 4th round, just, I don't know. Like I said, sticker shock to me. But I wouldn't hate Metcalf at 401. I would much rather have Jane Daniels though. Cause look, we already have 3 receivers, so if we went well, let me ask you this. Would you take McLaurin over Metcalf or Metcalf over McLaurin?
I like McLaurin more than Metcalf.
Okay. So anyway, if you were super opposed to Daniels, so I would have taken McLaurin. So I assume, would have taken Breece Hall, right?
Yeah, Breece Hall there. Yeah.
Okay. And so let's pretend Breece Hall isn't there and Kittle's not there. So it feels like you may have taken Metcalf, right? In that situation.
If McLaurin and Breece Hall were both taken,
McLaurin, we took McLaurin at 312. Let's just pretend Hall and Kittle are off the board.
Okay. Well, that means Njigba or Kyron Williams would have fallen. Probably.
Yeah. I know. But, I'm just kind of my point isn't who else is there. My point is we're taking our 4th receiver already before anything else. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird situation, but.
Yeah, there. Or I would go for Hurts then. To me, if I felt like I had to go quarterback, I would go Hurts.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd rather stack with McLaurin and Daniels. I think that's interesting. Whereas with Hurts, I guess we're just banking on Devontae Smith falling back to us to 512. Otherwise, we'd have to go to Goddard to stack. And I guess with Hurts, you don't really need to stack because he can score his rushing touchdowns. But I don't know. I'd rather just prefer to stack if possible.
Yeah, I mean your upside on a team going, being the number 1 scoring team. Yeah. With these tournaments, your goal is you got to be one of the top 2 scoring teams coming out of the And so to do that
Yeah.
effectively, your highest probability if you can get quarterbacks that have stacked with a receiver or a pass catcher of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're trying to get to the championship, and once you get to the championship, you're going against 1,000 people, and winning $1,000 or whatever the minimum prize in the championship's fine, but like your goal is to win $2 million. So, all right, we're up now. I don't know if you see anything you like here. I think Kenneth Walker is interesting. Is that who you want? Because
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
Kenneth Walker. I mean, I'm assuming Kamara, Mixer off the board.
Yeah, they are. My votes are for Walker and Adunze. Do you like anyone else?
Are there any other running backs? I can't tell. I can't see the.
It's Walker, Henderson, Harvey, Swift, Montgomery.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is my favorite of that crew. Um,
Aaron Jones.
yeah, but
Is it-
I don't. Yeah, I'd almost be okay with the receiver too. Yeah. So who are the receivers that you're looking at there?
Hunter Godwin, Adunze Jennings.
Yeah, I like Jennings and Myers more than I like Odunze, but I think Odunze is fine.
Okay, so who's your pick here? Is it Jones, Jennings, or Myers?
Jennings.
Okay.
Of those guys, those are my favorite.
Okay. All right. So we got our fourth receiver in Jennings. We got our first running back in Kenneth Walker. Yeah, you don't like Adunze? I really like him a lot. I actually did a video today on the top 5 mid-round fantasy football sleepers for this year, and Adunze was actually the first person I talked about. I did it in like being drafted order, so it's not like I like them over the other guys, but I think that I think his upside's like through the roof. Like Charlie Campbell, I mean, he talks to everyone, and a bunch of teams had Adunze like right next to Neighbors and Harrison, and it feels like with a better coordinator or better head coach, as to say, and Caleb Williams having more experience and the offensive line being better, feels like Adunze has like insane upside for this year. And I think that he could pass DJ Moore as the number 1 receiver this year. And it seems like it's crowded in Chicago, but like Loveland's injured right now. He hasn't been practicing. Burden's injured. He hasn't been practicing. There's like Cole Kmet. Keenan Allen's gone. So like I don't think it's as crowded as like it may seem, you know? You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah, I don't think it feels crowded. I think Odunze is the most likely guy to be the primary pass catcher going forward.
yeah.
DJ Moore's still obviously there. He's entrenched with his role, but I think Odunze is going to, runs more of the route tree, has a chance to be a really good receiver. I like Odunze. I think he's fine. Yeah, I think other guys are better. I think Juwan Jennings is grossly underrated right now.
I agree with that. Odunze just won. Yeah, it feels like people are sleeping on Jennings and also Pierce. I like Pearsall a lot too.
And to me, Jennings is like 4th round value, and consistently in the 6th round. And sometimes slipping even into the 7th. Yeah, I think he's great. So that I own a lot of Jennings. We talked about him. We talked about him 2 weeks ago. Or whenever we did that show on guys we own the most.
I had Jennings more than Pearsall. I currently have Pearsall more than Jennings. And what happened was when I was drafting a lot before the NFL draft, Jennings was going like 7th round. And now he's going like 6th and like he like 5th sometimes. And yeah, sometimes he falls around 7, but usually he's like early 6th, I feel like. And like whereas Pearsall's still going like 8th round. And so like that's why I'm just not getting Jennings. I'm getting like Odunze, or like a running back, or like Swift or Jones, or Travis Hunter is now falling to the 6th round, so that's interesting to me. And so like there's some other players of taking over Jennings sometimes, whereas like if Pearsall is there in the 8th round, I'm just taking Pearsall. So like that, it's funny that it flipped, because when we did that show, I had more Jennings than Pearsall, and now it's the opposite. John says got sued for sexual assault. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if I don't know, if, like obviously, if he got like, if it was the legit lawsuit, then like, yeah, I mean, if then your description of your brother is definitely legit. And then I would agree with this lawsuit. You know what I mean? So, it sounds like that's probably the way to go. And it sounds like you're heading that way too, John.
So the problem is with insurance, the only you can't get insurance to pay unless you file a lawsuit. And so,
yeah,
you file a lawsuit that doesn't kill your brother. It's not going to drain him. You just file a lawsuit that's like that, whatever the insurance is going to cover, and you just so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The insurance will cover it, and then they'll drop him, and he'll have to go get a new insurance policy. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and if he's doing this stuff all the time, then maybe it's for the best. It might might be a wake up call of sorts, but I don't know. I mean, if he's doing this stuff a lot, maybe it won't be. But
Yeah.
I think it's probably like from what you're saying, John's probably the way you probably should go. So, yeah, sorry that happened to you, man. We're wondering where you were because we were talking about the Bills the other day. I can't remember why exactly, but I was like, oh, John has been around. Yeah, it's good to hear from you. But yeah, sorry that happened. All right, we're up in one pick. Let's take Stephon Diggs. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Tony Pollard's my favorite guy in this spot coming up here.
Okay, well, I'll start Pollard for you right now.
Hubbard's gone, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Hubbard went 5th round.
James Conner.
Yeah, he's gone.
Those are all gone. Okay. Jaylen Warren would be my next favorite.
Well, do you like Pollard over Warren?
Yeah, Pollard's my favorite of all those guys. So
okay, so you're gonna make this pick. You're gonna go with Pollard here. I'm gonna make my pick, and wait, did Pearsall just go? He just went. Okay, I was like, wait, I saw Pearsall and he just disappeared. So yeah, Pearsall's gone. We didn't take this guy in the last draft. I'm taking him now. I'm taking Emeka Egbuka. I think he's a potential league winner. Kind of like I had the number one sleeper on my page last year, and I talked about it in my video today, which you can check out on the channel. It's only 9 minutes, so you can get through it pretty quickly. My number one fantasy sleeper last year was Brian Thomas Jr. He was going 10th round. Now I should caveat, I had Pearsall as my number one sleeper, but he got shot, so I had to remove him. So after that, it was Brian Thomas Jr. as my number one sleeper. Actually, we had a lot of hits. I was surprised by how many good hits we had. Like I had Bucky Irving on the list in 15th round. I had Chase Brown 9th round. I had a bunch of other guys too that hit. Chuba Hubbard 11th round. But Egbuka kind of reminds me of Brian Thomas Jr., where like people are saying that like. Remember last year, people were like, everyone was like Christian Kirk. Like Christian Kirk was ranked higher than Thomas in like everyone's rankings. And like he wasn't the perceived number one receiver, whereas like Egbuka's the same thing. And like I feel like people think Egbuka's like the third receiver on the team, but like Evans is there and Chris Godwin. But I don't think Chris Godwin's going to play that much. Like they're already saying that he might miss time. And it's only July. It's July 10th. Like people are already saying he might miss time. So it reminds me of the McCaffrey situation last year. So I really don't think he's going to play. And then you have Evans, who's 32, like a 32-year-old receiver relying on speed. I think he could take a step backward or miss time. He missed time last year. Like Egbuka could really just run the show there in Tampa. It's a good offense too. Great offensive line. I know Tristan Wirfs is going to miss a couple weeks, but it's not going to be out too long. So Egbuka just feels like in the 8th round, just feels like so much value, so much potential. Like I said, potential league winner in the 8th round. So I mean, I like him better than any other pick made in the 8th round here. Like if you go through the running backs, like Mason could be a league winner, but I feel like it's too early for him. Brian Robinson, not really. Diggs is coming off ACL. Hawkinson we like, but he's not a league winner. Jaden Reed. He doesn't play in 2 receiver sets. Jaylen Warren, he's okay, but it's not a league winner. Mooney, not a league winner. Maybe Tyron Tracy, but not really. Ingram, no. Golden potentially, but I like Egbuka more. Like feels like Egbuka just so much better than any other pick in this round. What do you think about him?
I haven't drafted him one time in 54 drafts, so I don't know what to make of that mess. I feel like the reports on Godwin are much more mixed. It's like there's some guys that seem really confident, some guys not. I don't know what to make of Mike Evans. Mike Evans still had really good moments last year. It's hard to know where he's going to be. Is Baker Mayfield really good, or is he going to come back to what he normally is? I don't know. I'm not confident in him. New coaching staff or new offensive coordinator. And then they've got McMillan, who I really like too. He had really nice moments as a rookie. I don't know what to make of that team. And so it feels like a mess to me. So I'm just finding myself not drafting any of them. I don't know that I've drafted Mike Evans even once. I think I've drafted Godwin maybe a few times if he's fallen quite a bit. But I think McMillan I've drafted a few times really late, but I just don't know what to make of the team. I don't think I've drafted Baker even once. So the whole situation makes me just feels icky.
I've drafted Baker once. I've drafted Evans like twice or three times. I have never drafted Godwin. He is my 69th ranked receiver, so I have no interest in him. I think he's going to play like 6 games this year. I think I think they took Ibuka because they're not convinced Godwin's going to play much this year. It's my theory, and I think I felt the same way about the Falcons drafting Penix when they gave Cousins $100 million, and my theory is that like they looked at him in practice like, oh crap, this guy sucks. So I think the same thing Godwin, like they re-signed him, he's come off that injury, and they saw him practice, they're like, oh man, this guy's not going to play much this year, is he? Like, all right, well let's take Ibuka because he can replace Godwin this year and Evans in 2 years. So that's why I think happened. I don't know, I could be wrong.
I've got to readjust my my Snuggie. Give me a second here.
Okay, well we're up in 2 picks, so
right.
Well, look at all the quarterbacks. 5 quarterbacks in a row, and then 2 more
crazy.
later.
Well, the player I really want, I'm afraid to get sniped, but the player I really want is the tight end.
Okay. Is it Jonnu Smith? Okay, Purdy went, so I assume it's Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews is the guy that I'd want to take here. Okay. I think we also probably need a running back, right? Oh gosh, it's a mess.
We have 2 running. That's okay. 2 running backs is fine. I don't care. I've read so many good running backs late. Let's see. There's Najee Harris, Charbonnet. This is technically my pick.
Oh yeah.
So I think the best, I think I know I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take Charbonnet if we don't see him. No, wait, we have Walker. What am I doing? No, that'd be a bad idea. Yeah, I don't know. I think we can wait on running back or Rachaad White. I don't know. I'd rather just go Higgins or, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call. I don't know. I don't like any of these running backs. Like these guys are all bums.
I love Stevenson here. That's why I'm surprised you. But it's all
right. I don't like Stevenson one bit. I'm gonna take. Let's go Higgins. I think he has upside too as the receiver too. Although no, what am I doing? We have Collins. Actually, maybe we get Stroud on the way back if he hasn't been taken. That's the move to take Stroud as our QB too.
I think he'll be gone by the time we get back, right? I mean.
Maybe, but like there's been so many quarterbacks taken. Maybe people will take a break from taking quarterbacks. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if Stroud's there next, I would definitely take him.
Yeah.
So I think Stevens is a really good player. I'm surprised you don't like him. I mean, value him as the 1-2 punch.
Before we answer that, we got a super chat. This is like the first super chat we got like in a month. John Sanders 411. Thank you so much, John Sanders. Really appreciate it. Welcome back. Who's this year's Jayden Daniels? Which it's like Jayden Daniels was last. Well, it was like who's in 2024? Who's this year's CJ Stroud is Jayden Daniels, and so who's this year's Jayden Daniels? I can think of 3 possibilities. I don't know if you want us to go first, but I have 3 names that I think could be this year's Jayden Daniels.
When you say, does it mean just late round quarterback, or does he mean rookie quarterback?
Well, unless John wants to specify, I assume that he means a late round fantasy drafted quarterback who emerges as like a potential top 5 quarterback.
Okay, so not just rookie.
I would assume not. Yeah.
Because there's not a Jayden Daniels every year. Right. There isn't. I don't think we should assume there's going to be a Jayden Daniels this year, because there are seasons where we don't have that happen.
Yeah, we're only going to have 2 starting quarterbacks this year. We're starting rookie quarterbacks this year. So unless maybe late in the year Jackson Dart or one of the Cleveland quarterbacks, but like week 1, it's only going to be Cam Ward and Tyler Shuck, or it may not even be Shuck, but I think he's the favorite to start there. But so it's not like last year when you had all these guys start. So let's assume that John means late round fantasy.
We're losing Walter. We've lost Walter. Can you guys still hear me? Is it Walter or is it me? I don't know. Am I? Is the connection? Can you guys still hear me? Is the comments still going? Hello, hello. Am I by myself? Am I I got my own show. This is remarkable. Oh, he's back.
I don't know. I got kicked out for some reason. Hold on. Um, that was very weird. I just got kicked out. I didn't close anything. The window shut off, and
Oh,
I was talking, and then I stopped talking, and you didn't answer, and I was like, what is happening here?
I was like, I got my own show. I'm by myself.
All by myself.
It's the Kenny football show.
KennyFootball.com after our show. What was I saying? I don't know. What was the last thing you heard me say?
We were talking about quarterbacks, and then I didn't hear anything after that. He was like, it could be, and then nothing else.
I was like, okay, well, I forget what I said, but like late round, round 9 or later quarterbacks who could potentially develop into a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
I think the best bet is it's a toss up. It's Trevor Lawrence or JJ McCarthy are the guys that I would be bet on the most.
Okay, I think McCarthy's one of my 3 guys. I think he has the rushing upside to do it. I think he's in the like great offense to do it. Like Minnesota's offense is amazing. They have so much talent there. The coaching staff's incredible. Think about like what they've done with bad quarterbacks. Like Josh Dobbs was great for them for a few games. Last year, Sam Darnold. Like it feels like Kevin O'Connell turns water into wine with quarterbacks, and like he's got a talented guy in McCarthy. So I think I definitely agree with you on McCarthy. I'm not sure about Lawrence. I think Lawrence could be really good, but he's been injured the past 2 years, and we don't know how good of a coach Liam Cohen is going to be. But I think that Lawrence could be it could fit that category as well. And hold on, before we continue that, let's draft our draft our guy here. So we're up right now. Oh, CJ Stroud just went. We got sniped again by 1 pick. So anyway, I'm gonna do my pick first, I guess. I'm gonna start Garendo. I'm not sure if we're gonna take him. We can take another quarterback. Here's Lawrence, I guess. Are you gonna take Lawrence?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's take Lawrence, and I don't know if we're gonna take Garendo. There's Kraft, which we already have. Andrews. I don't know if we really want him.
I'd like to snack. I would later in the draft would stack Ertz in there, but as a second
Yeah,
tight end.
yeah. Later on, we only have 2 running backs, so let's take a running back. So yeah, I think it's Garendo. We need to strengthen our running backs for sure. So we have 6 receivers already. I feel like we need to take a bunch of running backs going forward, and our third quarterback. So and Ertz, like whenever he comes up. So I think that's our plan. That sucks to be. It was 2 drafts in a row. We've been sniped by 1 pick to stack our team. That's so disappointing. And this guy took Purdy as well. And man, that's a bummer. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Like, it's not like a huge deal, but we did with Lawrence. We did stack Lawrence with Thomas. Actually, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, maybe we can stack. And we have Daniel, so I guess we don't need a third quarterback necessarily. But yeah, that would have been nice to have the Houston stack. And yeah, I think I agree with Ertz. And if we don't get Ertz straight, we could do Strange with Lawrence once again. So anyway, to get back to John's question, hold on a second. This is very weird. This whole I see what happened. Okay, there we go. Something on my end just looked off. Anyway, I fixed it. So in addition to McCarthy, I think the 2 other late round quarterbacks I would have went with, and I liked your Lawrence take. I think Drake May could be there. Like Drake May has insane rushing upside as well. We saw him have some great moments as a rookie. Now he had some really bad moments, but he was surrounded by absolute trash last year. Like there was nothing at receiver. Offensive line was garbage. They couldn't run the ball. And the coaching staff was so clueless. Like nothing went right there. And like think about this year, they have a better coaching staff. better offensive line, better receiving core, another running back in the backfield who can help. It feels like his overall situation is so much better, and yet he's still going like 10th round, 11th round. Like it feels like Drake May should be going earlier than that, like 8th round, 9th round. I love getting Drake May. He's one of my highest drafted quarterbacks. Just so much potential. It's insane. I think he can make a huge leap. When he came to the NFL, I kind of like compared him to Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen, his first year, you saw him make some amazing plays. You saw him do some really boneheaded plays. In his second year, he made this huge jump, and I think Drake May is going to do the same. And like in Josh Allen's second year, Allen was going like 12th round in fantasy drafts. Drake May's like going around the same area, 10th, 11th round. So I think that he could easily be a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year with his rushing upside. So he's actually like my favorite to make this big leap. I just think there's so much potential there. The third name I would have said is Cam Ward. Just like obvious, rookie quarterback. I don't think Cam Ward is as good of a prospect as Daniels. Like, I mean, it's ignore his rookie year. Like Daniels coming out of college. Like Ward is not Jane Daniels coming out of college, but he has the rushing upside. He's an accurate quarterback. He works really hard. He's going into the facility at 5 a.m. every single day. He's got a good number one receiver in Calvin Ridley. I like the offensive line actually looks pretty decent. They added Kevin Zeitler. They added Dan Moore. Latham is going to move from left tackle to right tackle, which is his natural position. I think the offense could be pretty decent. It's not going to be amazing, but I think it could be decent. And I think he's going to have some spike weeks. But if I had to say one guy, I think it would be Drake May, who would be this year's Jane Daniels.
Yeah, I like Drake May. I think he had some brilliant moments last year. Expect him to take a step forward. And yeah, the situation was a mess last year. You would anticipate it be slightly better or significantly better. Somewhere in between slightly and significantly better.
Nice. I do think analysis. I do think he's going way overdrafted. And yes, easy schedule for the Patriots. John, you were away for this one show we did. Oh, hold on, let's do this. Our 2 picks here. Anyone you like here? Quarterback is nothing really a quarterback as far as I'm concerned. Let me make my pick. I'm gonna start Algier. Love Algier. Receivers. We don't need a receiver. Is Ertz is gone? Is that correct?
Yeah, Ertz was just taken.
Oh, he was just taken. Okay. Well, there's Strange as well.
Where's the other running backs that you're looking at here?
There's Benson, Bigsby, Algier, Wright. I'm fine with any of those top 4.
Yeah, you're going to take Algier here, he said?
Yeah, I'm going to take Algier. Who do you like?
I think we need another running back. I think I either like Bigsby or Wright.
Okay. Well, let's take Bigsby.
What's the bye weeks look like?
Okay, so Algiers 5. Well, I'm running out of time here. Algiers 5. We have 8, 10, and 14. So 5 works, and then Bigsby's an 8, but it's okay. It's only.
I think I like Wright a little more than Bigsby. I also like Roschon Johnson in this mix right there. I think who would you think? Would you take Bigsby or Roschon or Wright in this spot?
I'll take Wright. I mean, he's only one player away. Like okay. Wright's one player away, whereas Bigsby might be 1 or 2. We don't know how that's going to shake out. I
think Wright is going to get some play, even if Devon Achane is healthy all year.
Oh yeah, we saw it last year with Mostert, and Mostert's gone.
Yeah.
So they traded up. They traded their 3rd round pick from the 2025 draft to get Wright in the 2024 draft. So they clearly like him a lot. And like now he's experienced. I feel like he's going to be in the mix much more. So, I'm on board with Wright. I mean, he's one of my highest drafted running backs.
Anyway, I think he's him and Achane have similar styles, but they're not exactly the same. Wright's a little bit better between the tackles and a little bit bigger, right? Achane's 186 and Wright's like 212.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Achane's, I can't imagine. He caught 75 passes last year, 76 passes.
They had to. They had no offensive line. Tua had to dump off them.
I just can't imagine they can play that same style offense again. Like they've got to figure out a way to get the ball in space, in the hands of Waddle and Hill. And I think one of the ways you do that is by having a more traditional running game. So if you commit to giving Wright a few more carries, and then you can actually use play action. The offense they ran last year was a disaster, and they just I just can't imagine they could do that again.
It was awful. And they had no choice though. They couldn't block. They couldn't run block. They couldn't pass protect. They couldn't do anything. And now Terran Armstead retired. Like things are going to get better. Like they did sign James Daniels, but he was out for most of last year. So
I,
they made,
I just think I don't think it was just the offensive line. I just think the offensive schemes was terrible. Like it's
well,
just
you don't have to sell me on that. Mike McDaniel's a disaster.
so I just don't like. It's hard to like. Yeah, it's easy to blame. The offensive line wasn't good, but it just like it just doesn't make any sense. Like these long developing pass plays, and you're like, meanwhile you got a quarterback that's he's half a concussion away from the grave. I mean, this guy's like,
Yeah.
what the heck, man? Like, I mean, if we see, can't believe he's still playing football. Like it's just
I know.
this coaching staff was just a total disaster. So
I
I gotta imagine they're gonna give giving Wright more carries just makes too much sense.
Yeah, I've said this many times and I'll say it again just because it needs to be repeated. In the first game in which Tua was out, Alec Ingold had as many touches as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined. Their fullback had as many touches as their top two receivers combined. When I was handicapping that game, it was at Seattle, Dolphins at Seattle, and the Dolphins were like +6 or +6.5 or whatever. I was like, I think McDaniel is going to create like plays where he gets the ball to Hill or Waddle quickly in space and tries to have them make plays and just have them get long gains. Makes sense, right? That's what you would do, I think, with Skylar Thompson starting a quarterback, right? Like just short passes those guys, get some blocking from them, try to get them to go the distance. That's what I would do. I don't know, maybe it's too simplistic, but he's like, let's throw the ball to Ingold, let's run the ball with Ingold. It's like, okay, like that didn't work at all. They got blown out. So that was McDaniel, I think, is a horrible coach. So it's just truly awful.
Not that long ago, I thought he was good, and so
Yeah,
maybe he'll bounce back.
I don't know, man. He did a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. It's terrible.
I think we need a third quarterback. We also need a tight end. We've got and so
we got a lot of needs. We need another running back too. I think I'm going to take Will Shipley. So you have your choice of quarterback. There's Rodgers, Jones, Richardson, and tight end. There's Mason Taylor, Freiermuth, Schultz, etc.
Yeah, I would lean toward the quarterback here. What do you think of Aaron Rodgers? Are you anti Aaron Rodgers?
Not really. I'd rather have Richardson, but I could go. I could be sold on Rodgers if you like.
I'll go Richardson then.
Okay. I just think like his upside's insane. Like maybe he just doesn't play, which is like a problem. But like I don't know. I think when you have Jayden Daniels, like you're gonna be like, okay, who's gonna outscore Jayden Daniels? And like Richardson could do it. Like I don't think Rodgers will do it. You know what I mean? Like just I think Richardson's a good pairing with any of the guys in the top five, the top five elite quarterbacks this year, which is Allen, Lamar Jackson, Daniels, Hurts, and Burrow. Richardson just pairs so well with them because like you get your depth and you also get a guy who could outscore them. Whereas like Rodgers is like not going to do that at all.
Good. You never know. He could have a 5 touchdown game.
Yeah, you could do it like once or twice. Yeah, but if Richardson gets going and lives up to his potential, like this could be a weekly thing for him. You know,
right? That's true.
But that is a big if though. Jalen Wright will break 1,000 yards this season. I hope so. I haven't in so many. He's another one. If he goes off, like I'm going to win a lot of money in these best ball drafts. McDaniels and Greer are running a gambling ring. I can see that. Let's see. Cam Ward is Anthony Richardson. But John says no. Ward has a much higher floor. Yeah, he has a much higher floor for sure. He's more accurate than Richardson.
Yeah, Ward looks like he actually knows how to play the position.
Yeah. Like Richardson's completion percentage last year was 47. It's just abysmal. Cam Ward's actually he's a pretty accurate quarterback. And like his work ethic is much better than Richardson's. Or I don't know. Maybe it's changed, but Richardson's work ethic was so bad last year. Bowers 24. Great value for Nathan. Great value for May in the 12th. Absolutely, yeah. Bowers 24. 24th overall. He went. Where'd he go? He went 16th overall here. So, I mean, look, 24th overall. I think that's pretty good. Or is that the? I don't know what you're asking exactly. If you want to clarify, the one thing I was going to bring up before that I forgot, and John Sanders brought it up. The Patriots have an easy schedule. John, when what we did a show about, I said 2 weeks ago, maybe. SLU actually provided us with a strength of schedule spreadsheet, and it was based on my power rankings and my group, my groupings that go Group A through Group F. So SLU put together this a spreadsheet of that. It was awesome. It's kind of like I kind of knew the Niners had the easy schedule, and that was confirmed, but I didn't know like who else, like what others, like who had the other like toughest or easy schedule. The Patriots actually had the second easiest schedule according to my power rankings, so that's something to keep in mind. If you just drafting Patriot players, and maybe that's kind of like a feather in your cap to Stevenson, who I kind of dismissed. We didn't really talk about that earlier, where like you like Stevenson in the 10th round. For me, they just drafted Travion Henderson in the second round, and last year Stevenson was kind of phased out at times in favor of Gibson. Like he's the favorite to start the year, but like I could see second half of the year Henderson just running the show there. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe Stevenson has a bounce back year. The offensive line did get better. Vrabel's, he's going to want to run the ball, but I think there's a reason why they drafted Henderson in round 2. So I don't know. It's a brand new coaching staff. We don't know how they're going to favor Stevenson. I could see him being a good pick, but I just haven't drafted him at all. I think I've drafted him like once or twice. I'd rather
quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd rather take like the rookies with upside, whereas like Stevenson, you kind of what you're gonna get in the first half of the season, but like the second half of the season, like maybe he won't play that much. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think Stevenson's too good to. I can't see him being phased out. I think he's really good, unless Henderson's amazing.
I like Henderson.
Yeah, it'll be a timeshare like every backfield in the NFL is a timeshare.
That's true.
Right? I mean, there's no such thing as a workhorse running back anymore.
That's definitely true. All right. We've 3-6-6-1. We need a tight end. I like. I don't really like any tight ends here. Theo Johnson.
I love Schultz here. Actually, I mean, I think he's
okay. Is that your pick then?
Yeah. I think Schultz is great, and in this spot, absolutely.
Okay, Schultz. I want a 7th running back because our running backs are pretty weak. And I brought this guy up before, Jarquez Hunter. Sean McVay was caught on mic, and he didn't know he was on mic, which is crucial here because when coaches go on camera, they'll say nonsense. But like Sean McVay was in the draft war room, and the mic was on, but he didn't know he was being heard. And when they drafted Jarquez Hunter, he said, "That is the guy I wanted on day 3." Like this was his own personal guy that he drafted on day 3, in the 4th round. So Hunter is like a running back with just like high upside ability to go the distance whenever he touches the ball. He could be a really good weapon, and I think that with Kyren Williams just like fumbling a lot last year, there's a chance that he may turn to Hunter if Williams continues to fumble. And Williams also has a long injury history too. So like if Williams goes down, I think people might think, oh, they might split with Corum or Hunter. But I don't know. Given that like Corum wasn't that impressive last year, and given how much McVay apparently loved the Hunter, then I think Hunter could just grab the workload if Williams goes down. So I like taking him like 17th, 18th round. I think there's a lot of upside there.
I'm getting random text messages from my wife at 12:38. She's in bed anyway. I don't know if Hunter's good or not, and I just think, oh, that's the guy he liked on day 3. Like if he's like, that's the guy I wanted on day 1, and we're drafting him on day 3, that feels more impressive.
Well, it's 4th round. Like 4th round running backs go off all the time. Like you can to me, I think like 3rd, 4th, 5th round running backs, like you see them become starters all the time. Like Tyron Tracy was a 5th rounder last year.
I'm not confident. We'll see. We'll revisit. I think Corum was fine. And if Williams goes down, I think Corum likely gets the first shot. unless he totally sucks. Um, and I think Smith from Kansas City is probably fine in that draft. So I understand your thinking. Trying to get a seventh running back there. I think it's valuable. Taking a shot.
Yeah, I do think we need another running back. I think we'll definitely agree on that. Just given the weakness at the position that we have. So we have 2 picks left. We have 3 quarterbacks, so we don't need another one. We need a tight end and we need a receiver. So I'm going to given that we didn't get Higbee last time, I think I'm going to petition Higbee this time. That would be my pick unless he's taken. So you could take whomever you want. I assume a receiver.
That's funny. Yeah. Who are the receivers available?
Let's look. Well, I mean, basically anyone. There's Coker. I know you like Coker. I'm gonna star him because I know you like him.
Well, I like them to pair him with Young.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, who are quarterbacks? We have Daniels, we have Lawrence, and we have Richardson. So no one really stands out to me.
I would just go. Then for me, it's Wicks or MVS.
I love MVS. Given that we took Wicks last time, I'm going to say MVS.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 1 pick away, and we get who we want. So Higbee and MVS. Is that it?
Yep, that sounds great to me.
All right. Our draft is over here. Let's answer a couple questions before we review and head out. If we drafted Herbert, they'd have as many Super Bowls in 2020. Well, hold on, I missed a few here. Let me go back to this. So Josh McDaniels, and McDaniels is the coordinator too. Yeah, that's true. Walt, can you tell me why Herbert is so overrated? What does he want? And then John responded, if Reed drafted Herbert, they just have many Super Bowl wins since 2020. I agree with that. Mahomes is a special player. Maybe they'd have one fewer Super Bowl win. Like maybe they don't beat the Eagles in 2022. Because that game was super close, but I do think they'd have I think they'd have 2 Super Bowl wins with Herbert. Like Herbert is known as like a guy who's on their Chiefs so far as like being in the playoffs. But if you look at like what he's done in the regular season, like he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And that has occurred even though he's had abysmal coaching. Like he's had awful coaching before last year. And now last year he had a great season. Now he got blown out in the playoffs by the Texans, but I think the team around him kind of sucks. Like even this year, like their defense, it looks abysmal. I think they're going to have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I think statistically he might do a lot better because he might have to be engaged in a lot of shootouts. But no, I think Herbert's a great talent. He just hasn't been coached well. And I guess at some point, you're going to make excuses for these guys. And Herbert's going to have to win at some point to kind of like justify him being ranked like pretty highly among the quarterbacks. But I do think that like if he, like as John pointed out, if he had a coach like Andy Reid or like Sean McVay or one of these offensive gurus, then I think he would have had much more success. What do you think about Herbert?
I mean, I think sometimes maybe like I have eyeballs and I use those eyeballs to peer upon that which is happening upon the gridiron. I was trying to sound fanciful there. No, I use my eyes. I test. I watch Justin Herbert go, oh, this guy throws the ball with more accuracy, with more anticipation, further down the field, more consistently than most other guys. Like, don't overthink it. Just watch him play. The problem is the vast majority of football fans, fantasy fans, don't watch games. They just read box scores or they listen to the dumb talking heads on TV. So I actually watch the games, and Herbert's good. And so, yeah. Do I think do I agree with the statement that they would win as many Super Bowls with Mahomes? No, I don't, because Mahomes is otherworldly.
Yeah.
Like the Mahomes' ability to escape, his ability to see the whole field at all times, his ability to just toy with the defenders. I mean, his stop and go, his kind of silly pitter patter that I just hate and want to just stab him in the eyeball with a rusty butter knife, but like it's so good, like it drives you crazy. But Mahomes' feel for the game and his ability to just do like video game-esque stuff is otherworldly. We've never seen anyone play the game the way Mahomes plays the game. Never.
Yeah.
there are things he can do that no one has ever done. I'm not saying he's the greatest ever yet, but he's, in my mind, Mahomes is already the second greatest quarterback of all time. It's Brady.
Wow.
I jokingly say Nick Foles, but on a serious note, it's Brady, it's Mahomes.
Wait, you were joking? I thought you were serious.
It's Brady, it's Mahomes, and then there's a distant gap between the rest of the crew. So to compare the two is not fair, but to say that Herbert sucks or that he hasn't done anything is also like not a total fair assessment of Herbert. Like, he's really, really good player. I do wonder, does he have the moxie? Does he have the clutch gene? So I can't help. Does he have the clutch gene? That's where Jalen Hurts beats the rest of the guys out. I think in a lot of, like, where Hurts doesn't have the arm, doesn't make all the throws that Herbert can make. I know what Herbert does. I know what Hurts can do on the biggest stage. I've seen him play in the Super Bowl 2 times, and he's been awesome in both of those games. I've seen Herbert in the playoffs, and he's not been great. So I think someone in the comments said it's a make or break year for Herbert. I think that's probably true. I think to some extent, he has to start winning in the playoffs to justify the defense that guys like me have given him.
I people said the same thing about Peyton Manning back in the day. Like, amazing quarterback and the best regular season quarterback of all time. He just choked a lot in the playoffs. In fact, like back in like 2005, I think I wrote an article on the site saying that Peyton Manning should seek a psychologist to or a therapist to kind of figure out why he chokes in the playoffs. Just half jokingly, but he just never lived up to his potential in the playoffs. Like, only 2 Super Bowls from a quarterback that people back in the day would consider maybe the best of all time by the time his career was over, and that wasn't the case, because his first Super Bowl he kind of lucked into a win against the crappy Bears, and the second quarterback, the defense carried him. So just never really did too much in the playoffs. He won twice, but it's under weird circumstances. And yeah, maybe Justin Herbert has that same sort of issue, but he's just not as good as Peyton Manning. So I mean, he's incredibly physically talented,
right?
But the clutch gene, I think you might be right. John saying Mahomes killed against the Eagles. Cooper DeJean had more receiving yards than all the Chiefs combined in the first half.
Yeah, the Eagles defense was awesome. It was one of the greatest days of my life. The birth of my children and the Eagles stomping down the Chiefs. I mean, pretty close. But yeah, that's not fair, John. Come on, Mahomes is awesome. That team has been in the AFC title game every year that he's been the starter. He's been in the 5 Super Bowls. He's won 3 Super Bowls. He won a Super Bowl with the schlep. I've never seen a quarterback do more with bad receivers. I thought Brady did a lot with bad receivers. With
Mahomes, Troy Brown and David Patton were his 2 receivers when he first won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he also had Deion Branch one year. So
the first year he won in 2001 is Troy Brown, David Patton, and his tight end was
not
Ben Coates. It was Jermaine Wiggins. Jermaine Wiggins was his tight end. So it's awful.
Yeah,
Antoine Smith was his running back. It's so bad.
Yeah, that defense was awesome. I mean, and Brady was great in that game. I just think. Yeah, Mahomes won a Super Bowl with Mecole Hardman and a washed-up Juju Smith-Schuster,
MVS,
MVS and Kadarius Toney. He had Travis Kelce. Mahomes is just the otherworldly. He's not perfect. He's got flaws to his game. I would add one caveat is, 2010 Aaron Rodgers may have been the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Just like the 2010, 2011 Aaron Rodgers might be what was also otherworldly, but he just didn't keep it up to the same, he had injuries and didn't keep it up to the same level that we've seen from Mahomes over the course of 7 seasons, 8 seasons, whatever it is.
Yeah. You know what? You're talking about Mahomes is pitter patter sort of style and the improvisation that he does. We've seen one quarterback like that, Brett Favre used to do that all the time, weird stuff in the pocket. But Mahomes, like Brett Favre would make insanely dumb decisions at times. Like either the interceptions, you'd be like, "What the heck was he thinking there?" And like he's the all-time leader in interceptions. Whereas like Mahomes is like Brett Favre, but with like good decision making, not like bad decision making. I
Yeah.
think you could say that.
I love the Favre, by the way. But, you know,
He was so talented. Yeah,
he's one of my favorite. I mean, he might be. Yeah, I gotta make a list of my favorite overall players of all time. Maybe that'll be a good conversation.
yeah.
Because Favre could be at the top of the list or pretty close.
He was awesome. He's fun, so fun to watch. But then like he would some plays he would make like what was he doing there? Like, he just like trying to do too much at times, and he had some hideous games like that one playoff game he had like 5 interceptions or something.
Yeah.
So
He had
he's at stinkers.
he had a 3-year stretch in the mid '90s, where he was the NFL MVP 3 consecutive years. They went to 2 Super Bowls. They won
Yeah,
1 Super Bowl. He led the league in touchdowns those years. He was awesome. I mean,
yeah.
he had a stretch that was unreal. But anyway, we're way over. We're way off the beaten path here.
Yeah. Roger Marino, best of all time in terms of raw talent. I mean, Marino was just incredible talent wise. Why are we putting Herbert in Mahomes? I don't think anyone is. Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is like tier 0 quarterback, and then everyone like there's a bunch of tier 1 guys, but Mahomes is by himself. Hurts is an all-world San Francisco '80s team around him. See, this is why I think Hurts will never win MVP. It feels like everyone says this about Hurts. And I bet him twice, 2 separate years to win MVP, maybe 3. And like I felt like just I got screwed the first time because he missed 2 games. They lost those 2 games. Like, oh, Hurts can't win MVP because he missed 2 games, but they lost those 2 games. Like, come on. I was so upset. I was so frustrated. I had him 40-1 to win MVP, and I got so screwed. And then last year I had him as like to win MVP, but like people argued, oh, he has Saquon Barkley now. So that's why I'm like I'm never betting Hurts to win MVP ever again, just because
Yeah,
like people just keep making this excuse for him.
yeah. I people who say this, not like there's so much nonsense on Twitter, X. Like they just haven't seen him play. Like
Yeah,
like if you watch, like, oh, did you see in 2022 he threw the ball all over the field like all the time. Um, in 2023 he threw the ball all over the field. They had the defense was awful in 2023.
yeah,
And so like they started the season 10-1 because of Jalen Hurts. They had no, like, the running game was putrid. They had DeAndre Swift and he was okay. Like, but like the defense was terrible. Like they threw the ball over the field. Like the idea that like he was carried by a good team. Like every team that won a Super Bowl has a good talent around them. Like just like name a Super Bowl winning team that has no talent other than the quarterback. Like it just come on, it's stupid. It's stupid on face value.
yeah. It's people just don't like him for some reason. I don't know. I bet Jaden Daniels. He's the only player I bet to win MVP so far. I bet him to win MVP at 11-1. I feel like he doesn't have the talent around him that Hurts does. So if the Redskins win the division, I think that he would have a great chance to win MVP.
Yeah.
Like there's McLaurin, but like no one's going to be like he's not on the level of Barkley, so people are going to say that. Plus, we've seen McLaurin without Daniels. It was good, really good, but not great. So yeah, I like the bet of Daniels at 11-1. We had a couple more comments. We'll head out. Manning's 2 quarterbacks were off. Two Super Bowl wins are off a worst QBR rating of all time. Yeah. He was not impressive in the 2 Super Bowl wins, and obviously in the Super Bowl loss, not great either. It's a tough evaluation. If he had a draft of only quarterbacks, would he go in the top 10? Yeah, he would for me. Top 6 probably. Like it would be who would you take real fast? Like I think for him for sure.
If you're drafting, you want for fantasy purposes or just for NFL purposes?
I was saying NFL purposes. So I would take Allen, Jackson, Daniels, and Burrow over him. Do you agree? Well, and Mahomes. Those 5 for sure. And then after that, is he number 6?
I think he's easily number 6.
Yeah.
I think there's a question mark between. I think there is a question mark between Daniels and Hurts in my mind.
Yeah, I think Daniels has more upside because he's younger. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think if it's just for this year, then you can definitely argue Hurts. But if it's long term, then Daniels for me.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think that's in the conversation. Um, yeah, I think the things about Hertz that's unique. Maybe this is worth an article on my website, but like there are certain things that Hertz is phenomenal at, like better than everyone else, with the exception of Mahomes. But then there's things that Hertz is terrible at, like worse than everyone else. So there's this. He's sort of this like, he's on on certain throws, he's as good as anyone. He's elite all time. And on other types of throws, oh gosh, he's terrible. So there's just like so the Eagles know that they're not dumb. They've structured the entire offense around what he does really well, which is smart on them. I think I mentioned this in the show a couple weeks ago. In the Super Bowl, the Eagles threw one pass. Count them, one pass in between the hash marks.
That's crazy.
It was the dagger to Devontae Smith. No
MVP,
other team.
The MVP shot.
Yeah. Every other throw he made was to the outside, was outside the numbers, because that's where Hertz doesn't see it well in the middle of the field. That's not a secret. Everyone knows. Like, and that Achilles heel should be enough for good defensive coordinators to completely shut you down. Like, most defenses in the NFL are good enough to take away the outside and force you to funnel inside. The fact that defenses attempt to do that, and Hertz is still able to throw the ball on the outside effectively, shows how good he is at doing that one thing.
Yeah.
He's a very weird player. He's a strange player. So I think John said it. He's a tough evaluation because he doesn't make all the throws, but he makes some of them elite and kind of all time.
Yeah, for sure. The secret formula to MVP is the quarterback with the highest QBR with fewer losses. Lamar Jackson, exception, didn't play week 17. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Yeah. I think, and it's been a mobile quarterback, I can't remember the last time it wasn't a mobile quarterback who won MVP. I think Daniels definitely applies. People don't like the touch push. That's true. They definitely don't like that, but it's skill. Look, if it was that easy to play, then everyone would do it, but they don't. So it's
also Jalen Hurts scores a lot of rushing touchdowns outside of the tush push. Like, have you seen some of his highlight films, like running? I mean, they're phenomenal. I mean, just
yeah, for sure. The last quarterback who's not mobile to win MVP, I guess, like Aaron Rodgers, but he can run around. I mean, I don't know how many. Yeah. He's not like a statue in the pocket. Tom Brady, 2017, the last non-mobile quarterback to win MVP. Anyway,
you could argue he probably shouldn't have won it that year. Should have been Carson Wentz, who is much more mobile.
That's true. Yeah. Look, if Wentz doesn't go down, he would have won MVP. And I almost ripped up that ticket. That Super Bowl ticket, but I'm glad I didn't. Why does Caleb Williams keep asking Ben Johnson if he could utilize the touch push? I haven't heard that. I didn't know he did, but I mean, he should if he can. Hurts puts in a lot of work to build those quads. Yeah, exactly. Like he does put a lot of work into it. It's not like anyone could just do it.
Trying to get my wife to do that.
All right, I think that's where we will end the show before we have a Nuggets type situation. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching, commenting. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, John, for the 411 super chat.
Yeah,
really appreciate it, John. Thank you so much. Miss you, John, on here. Glad you're back. Albeit, I wish circumstances were better with your brother, but
hope the lawsuit goes well.
Yeah. Glad to have you back on. All right. So, Kenny, do you want to talk about thecapIsFake.com before we head out?
Yeah. No brand new content, but the cap is fake. If you believe that the salary cap is real, I would encourage you to visit thecapIsFake.com because it is not real. And there's an article on there about how Jalen Hurts is elite. You can go check that out for a little further back. Because Jalen Hurts is elite. It's fine. Reality check. Jalen Hurts is elite. 17 facts to prove it. So
17,
anyway.
Not 1, not 2, but 17. Check it out. It's a good article too. So I'm not suing him. LOL, I'd probably lose money somehow. That's probably true. That's definitely probably true. All right, yeah, definitely check out Kenny's article if you still doubt Jalen Hurts. It's a good one. I remember reading it. It was definitely a lot of stuff that I didn't know. rest of the year 2050 Hertz cap hit still on the books. It's probably true.
The Eagles
So
will figure out a way.
they will. It'll be 2100. It'll still be on there. So
It's like he'll be the
that's what
Bobby
they do.
Bonilla of the NFL.
Yeah, Bonilla by the way, it's like 10 more years, right?
Yeah,
Until
it's
that's
so
up.
good.
That's insane.
It's the greatest. The greatest. It's the greatest. Greatest contract. Great. That whoever the agent was on that. Well done.
No, it's incredible. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Mike Lachine will be on. That's the plan. And then Saturday, Tom will be back from vacation. So gonna get into a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. I assume we're gonna do some fantasy stuff tomorrow with Mike. And then Tom, it's gonna be the usual nonsense on Saturday, which is gonna be a good time. So please hit like. Listen to our shows on Saturday. It is complete nonsense. But yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description of the merch store. Kenny, love having you on as always. We'll have to think of a topic for next week. You could be more prepared, but doing drafts is fun anyway, so I'm always down to do that. So yeah, all right, guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you.